everyone. So today we are moving away from just graphing and now we're actually going to be solving inequalities. So your job today is to solve using opposite operations, which we've been doing with equations. And then also you're going to graph them and then we're going to do some translating. So this is a quick recap. I'd like you to try this on your own before I show you. So less than looks like this. Greater than is switched. Less than or equal to, let me change my colors, is going to be with that line underneath, or it could be equal to the number or greater than or equal to. So those are my four symbols. No equal signs because these are inequalities. But let's talk about how we would represent these two symbols. So if it's just less than or greater than, think about what type of circle we have. That should be an open circle because it's not equal to them. And then if I have less than or greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, that's where I'm going to have my closed circle. Okay, so differences with those, and think about which way we would shade for each one of these. So if it's less than or equal to, I'm going to shade always to the left. Okay, left shade, I'm going to go this way, right? And then if it's greater than or equal to, I'm going to shade to the right. So keep those in mind. After we solve, we're going to have to graph, so be careful of those. So next, let's talk about how we're going to start solving. These look similar, but remember, this is what we're used to, and this is what we have now. So when I solve inequalities, it's similar to equations. The number of solutions is different. So that's where our graph's going to come in. So let's talk about what I mean here. So when you guys are solving equations, you guys should be able to do this without any trouble at this point. You guys are great at this. So I'm going to subtract 1, both sides. I'm left with 3x is equal to 12. One more step, divide by 3. X is equal to 4. We've done that over and over again in class. And now look, I have the same numbers. The only difference is this greater than symbol in between. But notice that I can still draw my line. I'm going to still subtract that 1. But be careful, don't put an equal sign there. Still going to divide by 3. Oh, sorry, everyone. So x is now greater than 4. So in this equation, if I were to go to graph this on the number line, the only answer I have is 4. X is 4. End of story. Story over, right? Game over. Come on, Stanford. All right, if I go to graph this one like we were doing yesterday, 4 is here. I'm going to have an open circle that is not equal to 4. It's everything greater than 4. So think about the number of solutions I have to this problem. I could plug any number bigger than 4 and it would be an answer to this. 5 is greater than 4, 6 is greater than 4, 100 is greater than 4. So there's an infinite number of solutions for this. That's the only difference. Okay? So let's go ahead and do some, then you'll solve some, and life will be great. So, same thing, I'm going to draw my line. Think about how I want to get this alone, so I'm going to subtract 2, do the opposite. So I have x over 3, don't write equals, is greater than negative 6. Now to do one more step to get x by itself, I'm going to do the opposite of division, which is multiply by 3. So I have x is greater than negative 18. So there's my inequality. Be very careful, none of your answers will have an equal sign. I'm going to have a negative 18 in the middle, just like yesterday, negative 17, be very careful, and negative 9. I'm going to have an open circle, and I'm going to shade everything bigger than negative 18. Okay, next problem starts the same way. I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to try to get x alone, so I'm going to subtract, do the opposite. So I have 10x, be very careful, greater than negative 20. One more step, I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication and divide by 10. So I have x is greater than negative 2. There's my inequality. I'm going to graph it. I've given you lots of negative practice here today. So I have an open circle again, and again, everything greater than negative 2. All right, the only difference with this one is now you're noticing I have 2 x's. That's okay, just like equations, I know how to do this. So I'm going to try to get the x's on one side. I think it's going to be easier if I try to get that 4x over here. So I'm going to subtract 4x. Bring that x with it this time since I'm trying to move the whole thing. So I have 1x is less than 9. Now I could divide by 1, but that's going to give me the same answer, so why even bother? So x is less than 9. So I have a 9 in the middle. It's open circle. I didn't give you any or equals to's today. Everything less than. Okay? You've got 3 problems to try on your own just like this. I want you to plug in the answers to each of those, and then you are all set.